Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, I'm going to be going over how to provide the correct nutrition to your chickens. And this is everything from day-old chicks to when your hens are full grown and laying eggs. So be sure to subscribe to my channel for more information about animals. Before we get started with today's video, I would like to thank the sponsor, Over Easy Chicken Coop. This company makes beautiful chicken coops. These coops are not only super cute, but also made with Amish craftsmanship, so they are extremely sturdy and keep your flock safe and protected. These coops are meant to last, keep your chickens warm in the winter, and have functioning windows that can be open for the summer as well as other ventilation. The coops are also large enough for you to step inside. Learn more about them by either clicking the link in the description to view their website or by watching my assembly video. When you first get your chicks, you'll want to provide them with Chick Starter. This has everything that they need. There are two types, medicated or non-medicated. I did a whole video talking about what medicated feed is and how to decide if your chicks need it. So please watch that video. I will leave it linked down below in the description. Chick Starter is good for all types of chickens, at least for the first 8 weeks. But most brands now offer Chick Starter Grower, which is a good food to offer until the chicks are ready to lay, and that's about 6 to 8 months. If you're just feeding Chick Starter, you can switch to Grower at 2 or 3 months, and at 6 or 8 months when hens start laying, you can switch over to layer feed. This will have a higher calcium, which is needed for egg laying. So let's go over some of the common questions about feeding. If you have a hen with chicks, you should feed them a Chick Starter. The hen can eat this with the chicks, but it will be more difficult for chicks to eat food meant for the hen. They can even choke on these larger types of feed because pieces are larger, so they need to have access to Chick Starter. If you have chicks with a hen and they're with the rest of your flock, you can provide both types of food and the chicks will eat the smaller crumbles. As for your roosters can eat the same food you're providing to your hens, such as layer feed. Other types of feed you can also offer is flock crumbles. This is usually a good option for those who have a mixture of different types of birds like ducks and chickens. I'll make another video that is more specific towards ducks, but flock crumbles are usually for an assortment of barnyard birds. You can also provide scratch grains. Chickens love scratch grains because this contains grains, corn, and sunflower seeds. This is actually what I feed my chickens. My chickens are free range and find most of their food on the farm, so I provide scratch grains. If your chickens are not free range, they should be given something like flock crumbles or layer feed because this does have more nutritional value. Since I use my birds as pest control, I want them to be hungry enough to go look for their own food. Now, for those of you who have chickens that are not free range, it's important to provide grit in their diet. Grit is basically small stones or rocks that helps them digest their food. Now, please don't try to give them rocks from your driveway or something like that. You can go and purchase grit for chickens at a feed store, and this will be able to provide them with what they need to digest their food. Oftentimes, chickens eating a commercial diet of crumbles do not have a problem digesting this without grit because they're able to break down the food. But once you start feeding scratch grains or vegetable scraps, they can start to have digestive problems. So the best thing to do is, if you are not free-ranging your chickens, do make sure you do provide them with grit. Chicks should be introduced to grit once they are out of the brooder. Your laying hens should also be provided with oyster shells. Honestly, this looks like crumbled up cement. It's not, it's crushed oyster shells. It's also not a substitute for grit, so your chickens still need to be provided with both. Oyster shells provide the hens with needed calcium for laying eggs. Calcium is a very important part of their diet because they will use so much of it. A chicken that is calcium deficient will not only have problems with egg production, like shellless eggs, but will also develop bone problems, and the bones might break early in life. Here is an example of a chicken walking with a limp because she did not get enough calcium in her previous home. You can provide oyster shells in a bowl as free choice for when they need it. They will not eat oyster shells to get full, they will only eat it as needed. Next, a really important part of your chicken's diet is foraging for insects and plants. Letting chickens free range is great because they will be able to find a lot of their food on their own. But for those who have chickens in a coop or don't have the amount of land needed for natural foraging, you should try to provide extra things that will make up for this and that can be with packaged insects as treats and vegetable or table scraps. Recently, packaged insects have become much more common for chickens. It's now easy to find mealworms or soldier fly larvae in either feed stores or online, and even get subscription services. These are wonderful things to add to your chicken's diet, and definitely a favorite that can be used as treats to tame your chickens. These can be purchased freeze-dried or dried in bags, and you can also buy them live. When I'm raising chicks like peacocks or guineas, I like to provide live since this is the best nutritional option. You can start introducing your chickens to insects early on in life, when they're just a few weeks old. Then, of course, an easy thing to add to your chicken's diet is table scraps. I always provide my unused vegetables to my chickens, or if my vegetables in my fridge go bad, I will give them to my chickens. If you have vegetables that have spoiled or gotten some mold, these are actually fine to feed to your chickens. You can start introducing your chicks to vegetables right away. I like to start off with things like broccoli. That's going to be easy for them to peck at and eat. However, spoiled vegetables or vegetables that have a little bit of mold on them, I would recommend not giving this to your chickens until they are adults. There are lots of things that you can feed chickens. This includes meats, grains, and breads. Some people will go as far as to give carcasses and just whole chicken bones and turkey to their chickens. And is this something that you can do? Technically, yes. It's not really something that I recommend, but technically, yeah, you can do that. Because the safe list of food to feed chickens is so long, I'm actually going to give you a list of things that are harmful to chickens so that you know what to avoid. Don't feed your chickens avocado, cherry pits, chocolate, large amounts of citrus, small amounts are okay, coffee grounds, eggplant, mushrooms, onion in large amounts, raw potatoes, rhubarb, uncooked rice, and uncooked beans. Other than that, there's a ton of different types of food that you can feed your chickens. And just remember that a healthy diet is a varied diet, and healthy chickens are going to produce the best eggs. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and got to learn something. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and you can follow me over on Instagram. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!